have it
I like that.
move up and down. It's wonderful.
Welcome back to Christina's Garage, Gearhead in Training. Today I'm at California Custom Trailers and Powersports. I'm going to be learning more about trailers. I do have an open car trailer at home. They're going to help me maybe upgrade some parts of it so I can better utilize it, learn more about trailers, how to use them, and especially because I have low back issues, I want to find a better way to use it. That way I don't have to continuously ask for help. This is Juan. He's going to help talk to me about the trailers and also, you know, if you want to buy a brand new trailer, or if you're someone like me who has a trailer and looking into potential upgrades that we can do on my actual trailer. So would you mind telling me a little bit about this one?
Sure. So the big thing about buying the right trailer is making sure it works for your situation, your abilities, the abilities of your tow vehicle, and there's always ways to make your life a little bit easier. I wanted to talk about this trailer today because this one is probably one of the most user-friendly trailers to use on the market. This is a Maxx-D Drop-N-Load car hauler. This is one of our best sellers, especially with people that are hobbyists, so people that race cars, people that have these off-road vehicles, or people that have businesses. So from work to play, everything's covered. First thing I want to talk about here is this hydraulic jack. Instead of having to hand crank your jack, which is pretty slow and inefficient, and frankly not great on the back, you have the ability to grab a remote here, have it move up and down. It's wonderful. Plus we put Demco easy couplers on here, meaning you don't have to touch anything to couple to your vehicle. To decouple, you do lift this flap, otherwise everything else just kind of clicks on. Really simple, really safe. But really the big thing about this trailer is the airbag suspension. There's no ramps to pull out or to fold down. Again, not stressing your back. You're not lifting heavy weight. So this has some gauges here to where you can kind of tune the suspension for whatever weight you have. So I can actually raise and lower as needed. So the next thing that makes your life a lot easier on this trailer, there's a wireless remote winch on here. So if your vehicle's dead or you're pulling dead weight, you can actually use that winch to pull on up to 12,000 pounds. Now once it's on your deck, one of those popular upgrades that we do to make things more convenient is we add this E-track right here on the deck. Now this E-track is really convenient because you can put tie downs, loops, wheel chocks anywhere along the length there, so you can keep your load secure, cargo nets, the works. Another popular upgrade is deck lighting. So sometimes when you're traveling, you might have something to work on, or something breaks, or maybe your track day gets interrupted. You could pull it on the trailer with your winch and use the deck lighting to do some minor repairs on the spot. Going back here, another thing that people tend to order or sometimes have us add on is some running boards. It makes it a little bit easier to kind of get over fenders or actually get on the deck without having to overextend yourself. And like I mentioned earlier, this guy here has a really low deck height, which lowers with the airbags to go flush with the ground. Again, you're not fussing with any ramps, you're not pulling down any gates, just easy access to get your vehicles on and off, especially if they're dead. It makes it a whole lot easier with the winch because you're not fighting the grooves on a ramp or the expended metal grooves on a ramp gate. So overall, this trailer is pretty easy to live with. Now, there are some things on here that aren't easily added to other trailers, but there are a lot of things here that we can add to make your life easier. So this is kind of an ultimate example of what you can do to make your life easier. And again, it's one of our best sellers. So when it comes down to maybe keeping budget in mind, you can kind of take what you need and leave what you don't. So if you bought a less expensive trailer like this guy here, we ordered with a winch plate, so you can add your own winch down the road to keep the cost down, but still has a hydraulic jack, still has onboard power to work that jack. So we can kind of find that balance of budget and creature comforts to make your life easier, and of course to stick within the confines of what you're trying to spend.
My trailer, I definitely want to add a hydraulic jack. When you do that, will you be replacing the whole front end?
No, so like this one, for example, we would add a toolbox if you don't have one. So we can always weld one on or bolt one on depending on the type of trailer. The tongue on most trailers is going to be a standard 4-foot tongue. This one's a wee bit longer, but it just happens to be that way for this model. So we add a battery, we add a wire harness, and in this case, This is a hydraulic jack with its own separate hydraulic reservoir. A lot of the kits that we sell will actually be self-contained, and all you need is a battery. So we can package this in many different ways to work for many different trailers.
And the pricing range would be dependent on the amount of work that would be involved to...
Right, so if it's a bolt-on, that usually is a lot less labor. If we're cutting and welding and grinding paint away, that adds some time and some labor. And it also depends on how powerful of a jack you would need. Obviously, if it's a heavier trailer, then you need a heavier duty jack. Because we have some that are RV grade for those big 30, 40 foot long trailers. We have some that'll work great for a small utility trailer like that green one there. So yeah, there's lots of options. I'd say price range to have one installed is anywhere from $900 all the way up to a few thousand, again, depending on what we're doing. And sometimes people have two of them added, one on each side, to kind of help with stability, especially on something that used to move animals or people sleep in.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That makes a lot of sense. So with this one, with the tongue, or what do you call it, the parts of the ramp that don't, because my trailer, you take out the part where the car grows up and then you put it back. This one, with it being permanently out there, do you get concerns about hitting, like the height of it?
So this one here,
going over speed bumps or things that are kind of weird with height.
Yeah, so this one here, it's more of a street trailer. Obviously, I personally wouldn't take this one off-road, but I've seen people stage on the side of the road and take their off-road vehicles and travel a little further on their own. But yeah, this is definitely a lower, this is what we call a split tail. So normally the deck on these will come completely filled, but we do the split tail just to kind of save a little bit of weight, adds a little bit of style. Now if you're moving something like a Polaris slingshot where it only has one tire in the back, or maybe a motorcycle, maybe you want the full width deck in the back. Okay. But generally speaking, yeah, this trailer does sit a little bit low. So it's very important to have an adjustable coupler for the trailer and an adjustable hitch for your truck, so you get that as level as possible, especially with loads that might vary with tongue weight. Okay.
Yeah, because I saw some of these other ones with more of the flat end and that are higher up off the ground.
Right.
Are those the ones that have the hydraulic to lift the whole trailer up higher, or how do you have separate parts that come off of it, kind of like how mine?
Right. So there's different options. So we have some gravity tilts, so they don't require any batteries or power. So you just kind of use gravity to push a hydraulic pump to kind of slow the ramp from going up and down, and you can lock them in position. Or you can get a full tilt deck that goes up and down. And when it comes to a tilt deck with a higher deck height, typically lower vehicles like sedans, coupes, slingshots typically won't like the ramp angle because your bumper's going to touch the deck.
Yeah.
So again, you just kind of have to figure out what works best for your situation, what you're actually hauling.
Okay. And if someone's looking to at least do some research and kind of learn more from you guys, where would you suggest they go to maybe reach out to you guys or try to, figure out what they need? We
have 6 locations. We have about 20 salespeople in our organization between the 6 locations that are happy to answer questions. Plus our main landing page, cal-custom.com, has inventory for all 6 of our stores. Plus we have our Instagram and Facebook that we post some content on. We're going to get our YouTube page going here soon. Just need more staff and equipment to do that, but we really want to get into more of the informational side. I would say with PJ and Maxx-D, our two biggest manufacturers, their websites are fantastic. They have fantastic videos, fantastic brochures, and their staff, believe it or not, they are customer facing. Even though we have a dealer to wholesaler relationship, they're more than happy to take customer calls and answer questions as well. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time, and I'm looking forward to putting some upgrades on my trailer. Sure, whenever you're ready. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you want to look into these trailers further, want to see what other toys they have, please check out their websites and their socials. All the information will be in the caption. If you want to continue following my journey, please subscribe to my channel. I do have a link tree with my other socials as well. And if you guys know anything about trailer dollies, that would probably be one of the next things I'm looking for, because I need to maneuver within my backyard. And as I said before, I cannot maneuver my trailer and hook it up to my truck without any help at this point. I would really like to get to a position where I'll be able to do all of that on my own, just with the right tools. Again, you guys are awesome. See you next week.